Yes, he says yes. All right, well, awesome. Hey, it's Mitch, it's Mike. It's Mitch and Mike's voiceover journey, and we have the illustrious Tim Powers back on the show.
Hey, fellas.
He's here.
One of our first guests when we were just starting to go, hey, you know what would be fun if people actually listen to other people other than us. So welcome, Tim. Good to have you back on the show.
And then I showed up and ruined it for everybody because now you've got guest after guest. Dude, you've been pulling some people, dude.
It's been fun because we have people reaching out to us and saying, can I be on the show?
Yeah, well, I mean, there's something to be said for actors' egos. They're like, what, someone's going to listen to me? Of course. Yes, well, yes, I'll be there.
I don't care. If they want to be on, I don't care what kind of ego they have. Come on, let's talk about it.
I gotta believe that everyone wants someone to go, what was your life like for an hour? You know?
I'm not going to be satisfied until I get the Mitch and Mike's 5-timers jacket. But we'll
make sure that happens. We'll keep having you back.
Just
and
that's a lot of faith in us, to be honest.
I don't know. I can't sew though, so I don't know if we can.
We'll make my mom do it.
I might, maybe make you like a Mitch and Mike's 5-time macaroni necklace or something. How about that?
Different colors.
Oh, we can paint them too.
We can paint the macarons.
Oh,
perfect.
Well, Tim,
yeah,
love hanging out with you. So it's good to have you here. We get to hang out with you in Atlanta here in just a few weeks.
That's gonna be fun.
So looking forward to that.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, we were a couple of U.S.ers. I don't know what you call us. Guys from the States in Toronto.
Yeah. Mitch and I were in Toronto having a party together, and
that at the
super
Tada
fun,
thing?
man.
Yes. It was at the Tada thing, and it was super fun.
Yep.
He chatted up my wife for a while. I came back. I'm like, what the heck's going on? I'm just kidding.
Hands were thrown.
Yeah, no.
She's like, is that Old Spice? I'm like, yeah. I love Old Spice.
I love it.
I love a musky man.
No, it was cool to actually get down and just have a chill because you don't get that a lot. Normally I see you in a classroom setting or a big meeting setting, so it's so nice.
It really is, man, because one of the great things about this industry is there's so many really cool people that you very rarely see out of the context of their profession. But when you sit down and you have a beer, or you're having a slice of pizza, you're having a cheeseburger across the table from somebody, and they become human, that's really where the bonds and the relationships are formed, and you really see the person behind the performance. And what you see, so much, all the bravado kind of goes away. All the estimation goes away. You get to see that people are just human. They put their pants on. They dribble whiskey on their shirt in the middle of a conversation. We're human. We do stuff.
I sucked it out.
You did. It's true.
No.
Tim's shirt?
My shirt.
Yeah, out of Tim's shirt. Yeah, I was like,
is there picture evidence of this?
You got a little something there.
It's not supposed to leave Canada.
Yeah.
Well, Tim, when we had you on last, we got the full backstory. We found out who you are. We found out all the fun stories from the stand-up comedy and the different things in L.A. from when you were growing up.
We want them all. If you're going to be a 5-timer, we want them all.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, not that there can't be more of that if you've got other anecdotes, but it's been over a year since we had you on the show. Hopefully our listeners... I'll tell you this, listeners, right? If you're just catching up with the show now, if you're like a new listener, go back in the catalog. Go find that initial interview with Tim. You'll find out just how bad Mitch and I were at that point. But you'll get some...
I had to carry the entire show for these lines. I
really
really
did.
did.
I thought that was
but
just
he had
what
some great
we,
stories about stand-up comedy and improv and just growing up in that world and rubbing elbows with certain people in certain troops and all of that. And just fascinating stuff. So yeah, go back and find that on YouTube or on Spotify or whatever, and do yourself a favor and listen to the OG Tim Powers interview. But let's get some new stuff, man.
Okay.
What have you been up to lately?
Tons and tons of stuff. I am now a contracted voice for an entire division of Purina. So
Whoa.
I'm doing all of their national ads in the U.S. and Canada. I'm doing all their streaming. I'm doing I am the voice of their entire campaign, and it's for the cat litter that changes color when your cat pees on it to tell you what's wrong with it. And dude, I did my taxes like 2 weeks ago. I'm like, that's about a third of my income last year was just one job and maybe 6 hours of work. So life's pretty good. And I've got another session coming for them next week. It's really nice.
I earn a third of my income in 6 hours, but that's just because I play around while I'm at the computer with my day job.
Your OnlyFans works great too, Mike. It really does.
People like old guys' feet.
It's true. It's true. Yeah, they really do. And I've seen them
turn a woman on.
I've seen Mike. They're impressive feet, man. I mean, I'm not a foot guy, but I mean, come on.
I think I caught a little calf on one of the videos. If I'm going to be honest,
I know, right? I got bicycle rider calves, so I'm just saying they're pretty nice.
He's tough.
We know the job's taking a turn when we start seeing knee, Mike. It's really somewhere there's a new actor going, I gotta sell pictures of my feet. Yeah.
I mean, sometimes the month is slow. You got to do what you got to do.
So, I've been for the last 8 years or so, I've been coaching voice actors, bringing new folks into the industry, or helping right the ship of some actors who maybe have gotten complacent. And there's a lot of great coaches out there. I happen to be one of them. There's a lot of us. Right. I just got a call today from someone who's been in the industry 3 or 4 years, and I coached with her. I had like 2 sessions with her over the past 3 weeks, and she's like, Tim, I booked my first commercial today using everything we learned. And so I'm like,
nice.
Right on, man. The TimProv thing has taken off, and I've been able to bring that into a couple of places. I have brought it into the Voicecaster for Kelly Machinsky. I'm offering it through GVAA. I also do it on my own every Thursday night, which is improv for the voice actor. If you have no improv experience and you don't even know what improv is, but you know it's something you ought to do, this is the opportunity for you. You're not signing into a Second City class where you've got to be funny. It's really about just showing up and being present, which is the elements of acting. Improv
is a hell of a lot of fun if you haven't done it.
Thank you, man.
You do things, just both Mitch and I have done it before, and you get to do things that you didn't think you were capable of. He'll throw you out, and it's a little nerve-wracking sometimes if you're not used to the improv, but he nudges you along, and before you know it, you're doing everything with everyone and just having a blast doing these little games and just fun things to get you out of your shell and not overthinking things. And it's super fun. I love to do them.
Thank you. I love that. Most people are born with the ability to act. We all do it. And it's really just being able to express yourself accurately in whatever environment you're in. And I say a lot of times, I say this to my students, that we improvised as 6-year-olds, 7-year-olds, in my case in the 70s, in your case in like 2018, right?
Who are you talking to?
Yeah, I mean,
I'm old, dude.
So am I, man. I was
All right.
6 years old in the 70s, man.
So you remember when you ran in the backyard in slow motion like you were Steve Austin, the Bionic Man?
Yeah, with a stick for a gun.
With a stick for
Playing
a gun,
war?
Right?
Yeah.
What we were doing in that moment was completely improvising with our buddies, right? We were, as Meisner's definition of acting, we were behaving in a truthful manner under completely imagined circumstances without the benefit of a script. But we all obeyed the rules of the universe. Whatever that universe was. We couldn't have Steve Austin versus the Hulk because they didn't exist in the same universe. You couldn't have the Bionic Man on the Planet of the Apes because it didn't exist in that universe. But for whatever reason, whatever we were doing, we were committed to the reality that we created. We were doing that at 6 years old. What improv does is it takes adult you and brings you back to that moment.
That's why it's so fun.
And that's why it's so fun, because for
you get
that
to be
moment,
a kid.
you're 8 and 10 years old again, and sometimes
Your language might be more spicy, but
might be, and sometimes you're doing fart jokes, but that's okay. You are you're relying on your instinct, and you're coming from your authentic self. I was just in a session earlier today with another respected coach friend of mine, and she was saying that the minute you start thinking about how you sound, you're no longer acting, because you're not present in the scene. Mm-hmm. Improv forces you to be present in whatever scene you're in. Especially if you're doing stage improv, you've got no time to make, you're not thinking about your character choices, but real life is like that too. If I back into your car in the parking lot at the supermarket, you're not thinking about what words to emphasize. You're not thinking about, what your pitch or your tone should be. You're ready to murder me. You're like,
what the fuck?
There you go.
What the fuck?
Yeah. Wait, let me.
What the fuck?
What's my motivation here?
I'm sorry. Let me do this again. I'm sorry. Could you back in one more time? Thank you. What the fuck? No, I didn't like that. Hold on.
What are you, stupid?
What the?
Stupid?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you're not doing it. You're present in that moment.
Yeah.
Right? And acting, if you're really acting, you're making choices before you even get to the first letter of the script. You're making choices about everything that's going around it. Even the dumbest tire commercial, you're still making those specific acting choices. And what one of the many things improv teaches you to do is make a bold, specific choice. Right? I'm starting to open my sessions with new voice actors saying, okay, why do you want to be here? And they tell me, and I go, okay, here's the reality. The world doesn't need another voice actor. There's enough of us. What are you going to do that's different? On paper, the three of us are the same dude. We're all, I am 100% certain that we audition against each other all the time. In fact, I'm 100% certain Mitch and I audition against each other all the time, and dude wins. Good for you, by the way.
I do.
Something you just booked last month was really impressive, man, because I read for it and I'm like, yeah, Mitch got it. Anyway, what are we going to do to make us stand out from the 900 other guys like us? We're going to make bold, specific choices and work around those. All three of us have nice voices. All three of us are going to read the words in the right order. It's the scene that we create. It's the acting that we do that sets us apart.
You know what I've found is that bleeds into so many things that you want to do well. It's not just improv. It's not just acting. It's dating. It's playing a board game. If you make a bold, straight up specific choice, you might bowl people out of the water because they don't know what the heck's going on. Or just having a conversation. If you make a bold choice, you're gonna be remembered by somebody, unless it's like negative. You'll be remembered in some way.
Even then,
that's the win the room philosophy, right? I mean, you got to do something that's memorable because they listen to everybody else coming in and going, "This product is amazing." Click. "This product is amazing." Click. "This product is amazing." Click. And so if you make a bold choice of, this product is amazing, then they're going to remember it, right? And that's...
Yeah. You are... Because those choices lend to your authenticity, right? My old coach, woman named Lori Tritel, coached with her back 25 years ago. She was the imaging voice on Playboy television. Coming up next, Stewardess School, and she was one of the cows in the Got Milk commercial, and she was amazing. Her partner was Michael Bell, who was, I think, Duke from G.I. Joe, and he was Plastic Man, and he was Bruce Banner on the old Hulk show. Anyway, Lori used to say that when you're auditioning, give me red, give me purple, give me orange, give me blue, give me black, but for God's sake, don't ever give me beige. Don't ever give me beige. And the thing that differentiates the three of us is our entire life story. We've all had incredibly different life experiences. I have no idea what Mike's day-to-day life is like. You know, and dude, you're really candid about it. It's a beautiful thing. Your authenticity comes out when you start talking about your real life. You bring that guy out in the performance, people are going to go, oh, that's really interesting.
Can I tell you what it's like? He's always just talking about what a shit he is to everybody, especially as his family.
Yeah, I know.
And it's like, why are you talking about that? Why would you even tell us
Because
that?
it's me.
I know it's authentic.
Because screw you, Mitch. Because.
You see, now you're treating me like family.
That's the real me. That's the real me right there. This guy.
Gosh.
Not this guy. This guy is the real me. Screw you.
Go back to what
And
you were
see.
saying, Tim. Sorry.
Make a bold choice even if it's a wrong choice.
Yeah.
Because that's way better than no choice. You know, I call those reads a mayonnaise sandwich. It's boring. Everybody can do that. AI can do that. Right?
Yeah.
By the way, I just lost a big job to AI, and I saw the new stuff that they replaced me with, and I'm prepared to tell them my rates have doubled when they start realizing that what they've put out is garbage. AI makes generic, bold choices. Watch what happens when I put a Mentos in a Diet Coke. It's boring. People think that's good enough. It's not, man. There is nothing. It goes back to improv. The one of the gospel books of improv was written by a cat named Del Close, who was one of the founding members of Second City. He was Bill Murray's improv teacher. He was John Belushi's improv teacher. He was the guy who literally wrote the book on improv. And the book is called Truth in Comedy, because there's nothing funnier than the truth. If you think of even the great stand-ups, right, of our generation, the great stand-ups, the holy trinity of stand-ups, Lenny Bruce, Carlin, and Pryor, right? Those guys were brutally honest. Brutally honest. Every other comedian, they're the Beatles of comedy. Everyone who's come after them owes them a debt of gratitude. There may be funnier, there may be better, more successful. Certainly the taste is objective, but they're the Chuck Berry. Everything came from there. And their honesty, their brutal honesty about life, about their observations, is what got them where they are.
I have a question about,
I gotta go.
Okay. Is
Goodbye.
it top of the hour already? Top of the hour? You improv constantly. You improv for fun constantly, or at least you help people improv for fun a lot. And when I jump on the improv roller coaster, I'm on a roller coaster. It's fun. It's scary. I'm waiting for it to end sometimes because I'm getting jostled around a little too much. How do you keep that spice in it for yourself when you've maybe heard the same poop joke, every weekend? Or, what keeps it fresh for you? I know improv is always fresh, but what really keeps that fresh for you?
It's up to me. The choices are up to me. If my partner gives me a poop joke, how I react to that can be a fresh exchange every single time.
Yeah. So you're ready to pivot on a knife's edge. I'm probably not going to say the last thing I said, or I'm not, or I might. Who knows?
Well, one of the things that improv training will do is get you to think past the obvious choice. One of my old improv teachers used to say, okay, you know what? If I do a scene in a bowling alley, 9 out of 10 of you are going to spray aerosol cans into shoes. What else is there to do in a bowling alley?
Sniff the holes. Sorry.
Yeah.
God damn it.
That's my ringtone now. Thanks, Mitch.
There you go. Can't take that back.
Right? But I mean, there's the guy pouring drinks. There's the guy mopping. There's the guy emptying the ashtrays. There's
the pin boy.
The pin boy.
Pin boy.
There's 1,000 things you could do in a bowling alley besides spray shoes. Right? He used to, if our suggestion for a scene was bagels, right? they're always he would chastise us if we immediately made the choice to set the scene in a bagel factory. Think beyond the obvious choice. And that's, 25 years going on 30 years of improv training. What is the new thing I get to discover in the same old thing? Right.
And then the bagels might even take a back seat. The bagels is just the catalyst to a scene.
Can be anything. And it's really whatever my scene partner and I invent on stage in that moment. I'm really lucky in that my life partner, my beautiful wife, is a classically trained actor. She's got an MFA in theater from Brooklyn College. Like, her professor has an Oscar. And we did not meet performing and we did not meet doing improv, but we're both improv trained. And the reason this marriage has lasted is because it is one long yes and scene. We just
that sounds like a fun household.
It's also a good life lesson.
It is. It's a great life lesson.
I'd like to play your child for an evening and come over and watch you two work and ask you to refill my plate because
you guys know me. I'm not easy to get along with, but we make it work because we are listening to what the other gives us, and we're attentive to that, and we're attentive to subtext, and we're in a constant state of agreement. And when there isn't agreement, we figure out how to get that agreement. The example I give all the time is if she, comes downstairs on a Friday afternoon and goes, "All right, Tim, we're going to visit my mom," right? I have a choice. I can say yes, and I'm bringing a good book, or I'm going to say no, but you have a good time. Now, which one is better for the partnership?
Yes, and
I'm going to bring a good book, right? Because it keeps the scene going. Once there's a no but, there's nowhere else to go.
I don't have that problem. Mine's pretty ample.
I was going to say, I'm thinking of other versions.
I've been told
of that.
It's kind of nice to look at.
Well, yeah, but life goes a lot easier when you start embracing the yes and concept, and your acting gets a lot easier when you embrace the yes and concept. And then when you realize that if your scene is not working, you can just create another one. It took you 10 minutes to create the one that you've got. Take a deep breath and create a whole other one. No idea you have is so precious that it couldn't be superseded by a different idea.
Yeah. I love the ones, the sessions where it's like, and switch, and it's over. Right? Someone pops in and it's a whole new scene.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I had that fun with just, not necessarily improv, but when I was coaching with Malik, the Malik Berger, she threw me we had 6 or 7 scripts of different characters. And she'd have me read it this way, and I'd do it. And then all right, now you're this person. And I went into it. And now you're this person. And I went into it. And that's, I think when she had that light bulb go off that, okay, this guy's got something, because I was able to pivot. And I was able to take the scene and make it something completely different just in the choices that I made.
There you go. And that's what improv training is like. Like if you move to LA and you take the Groundlings class, or you go to Second City, that's your life 3 days a week. Tell me this story like you work at Walgreens. Great. Now you're a leprechaun working at Walgreens. Now you're a demon working at Walgreens. Now, and you're constantly making new choices. Super fun. And you learn how to commit to those choices fast.
You had my brain, at least. I had to stop listening to you for a second because I'm like, ooh, what would I say now? Okay, I'm a leprechaun. But anyway.
Yeah. My brain immediately started going,
yeah, I can't wait to write this book.
Yeah.
So
here's your receipt.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. But Mike, that's really it. That's all you need right there. Oh, well, you're looking for toilet paper. It's over in aisle 7A. See you later.
We're going to make everyone in line wait twice as long as everyone else. They come to Walgreens to wait for a half hour. That's the demon.
Yeah, see, Mitch has got the demon.
Right?
I was thinking the leprechaun. Mitch is like, ooh, a demon.
Guess I'm thinking how evil Walgreens is when I walk
evil
there.
Walgreens.
It's just
cold. That would be a great bit.
But so you walk in, you're walking around with improv-y Tim, just bouncing around through life, really ballet dancing through life. light on your toes, if
That's
you
me.
will.
That I want to see.
But I come across this, and I bet you do too, the rigid person. The person who's not ready to yes and whatever you're about to say to them. What does that look like in your life? Because sometimes it feels like a wall to me. It almost feels like an affront to my being to not play.
That is, if I expect you to cannonball into an improv workshop and you maybe haven't done it in a couple years or you've never done it, that's a very tall order. So one of the things that I begin a session with, and if you guys have been at like VOA last year when I did it live, or I've done this at WovoCon or whatever, I have a game called 8 Things. And I just ask you, I give you a category and you name 8 things. Name me 8 brands of beer, right? And usually most people can think of 4 of anything. And when you start to get into 6, 7, 8, you got to start flipping through your Rolodex in your brain, right? But the information is always there. And after a few rounds of that, people go, oh, I'm smarter than I thought I was. Cool. And then you build the confidence.
So it's the lighter loads. It's like a warm up before a workout.
Yeah.
That everyone needs. How about normies in the normal world? Let's say you're riffing, right? And they come back and stonewall you. How do you break barriers in the real world? Non-students.
Yeah, let me throw an example at you. You're at a restaurant, and I've been at a restaurant with you several times, and we're at the table cutting up, and the waiter comes over and takes it, and you make a funny comment about the person sitting next to you ordering something funky or whatever. And you look at the waiter, and the waiter is deadpan.
The waiter's doing his job, and I respect the fact that he's doing his job.
Okay, bad example.
And I say, thanks for this, and I tip at least 20% no matter what.
So
he's got to put up with us clowns.
So now that you've clowned,
okay, bad
and
example.
It's failed,
I know,
you must
the service
tip.
industry. You got
It is very perfect.
Well, it's good karma to tip anyway.
Well,
and 90% of the actors that I know have been waiters, so including me. So
Agreed.
We're all working hard.
No, that's funny though.
But if you find a way to yes and every situation, there are gonna be people who are just gonna stonewall you and don't want anything to do with you, and you can agree to that too. If they don't want anything to do with you, end the scene and move on.
Okay, it is a wall.
Mm-hmm. It is a wall.
A wall is a wall.
Sometimes
you
a
can
wall
punch
is
a
a
hole
wall.
through it, or you can walk around it.
But a lot of times there's theory, there's psychology behind the stonewalling. So, there was a situation one time where my wife and I were flying from LA to Buffalo, and we had our dog with us, and the dog was a little like 9-pound Chihuahua Terrier, like maybe 5 pounds really, and we had her in a carrier, and the gate agent was like, you can't bring that dog in here because it's got to be able to turn around, and there was some rule. It was 5:00 in the morning. My wife was fit to be tied, and she was getting ready to just like go full Karen on this poor gate agent. And I look at the gate agent and I'm like, what's the policy? Well, I'm not really clear about the policy. I said, okay, it's your decision though, right? Yeah. I said, okay, tell you what, you let us go this time. And on the flight back, we'll be cool about it. Can we do that? And they're like, yeah, cool. And you just figured out what was behind it. It was a power dynamic. Somebody just wanted to be in control. And so I'm like, you're in control. I'm not going to fight you, but you're going to do what I want, right? And they go, yeah, cool. I don't know. I don't know that that's the best example, but
it's close. That's being, yeah, I guess in a sense, you opened up the crack by kind of being cool, by like scrambling a little bit, scrambling the brain of like, oh, okay, they're not just trying to be a jerk to take this slightly larger dog wherever. They're a human too. You've humanized yourself instead of like made yourself a number that's walking past this person.
That's what gets you. That's what puts you in the yes pile.
Yeah.
For auditions is when you become a human.
Oh man.
Yeah. So let me back up then, because you said something earlier. We were talking about making a bold choice and everything, and I have your your 4 questions up here: the what, who am I,
Can you read
People pay money for that,
what
Mike. Don't read them out loud.
Oh, yeah. What is the script really about? Who am I talking to? Who am I?
Can you mute him, Mitch? What is it?
Actually, I can't. He's just throwing your money away, bud.
Well, I'm sorry. I thought you asked me to read them out loud. All right, I'll save the last one. Nobody needs to. They need to pay to get the last one.
That's the most important one, too. Thank you.
Exactly. So that's the one they got to pay for. So, but so you're talking about making a bold choice. So,
yeah.
And then you were talking about the bagel and the obvious choice being in a bagel shop. So when you're doing these commercial auditions and you're trying to figure out who you are and what the whole setting is that, I mean, making the bold choice and getting out of the box? Okay, well, I'm talking about cat litter. Maybe I'm not the cat owner. Maybe I'm the guest that comes over and has to smell the cat.
The cat litter
is that the kind of thing that like helps you just get that level above when you're doing those?
It's never about
auditions?
The product, man. It's never about the product. It's never our cat litter is better than your cat litter. There's a reason behind it.
Mm-hmm.
And so for this particular, since you brought up the cat litter, it's about the security that your pet is okay. You can diagnose your pet at home and you can keep an eye on your pet's health. That's the function of the product. That's why it exists. And the scene that I created was I was talking to my 7-year-old daughter who was worried about Lucky. And she had Lucky in her lap and she was terrified. She didn't know what was going on. She's like, Dad, I need your help. So, well, I don't really know, but Purina is pativity, blah, 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 blah. And boom, all of a sudden, 7-year-old little Katie Powers made me a lot of money. Because it's never about the product, man. You know, Pepsi is not about sugar water that gives you diabetes. It's about having a good time with your friends. Toyota is not about our car is the best car on the road. It's about value. There's some universal truth. Domino's, great example. Domino's doesn't even say we have good pizza. Domino's is about convenience.
Mm-hmm.
Call right now and get it delivered in 30 minutes or less, or whatever they're talking about. They're not talking about the quality. They're certainly not talking about the nutritional value. They're talking about the ease of acquisition.
Mm-hmm.
And if you listen to their commercials, that's exactly what they're selling you is convenience. Figure out what the script is really about. That's why that question is first, Mike.
And yeah, good points. And yes, and I remember going through all that with you when we coached, and breaking down that. So thanks for taking that to that next level above my question, and reminding me of that aspect of breaking down a script.
You do that every day.
And that's the wonderful things you're going to get if you coach with Tim Powers.
There you go.
Moving on.
Listeners, see the segue I got there?
Yes,
see, that's improv right there. Whoa, see how
whoa. You didn't even notice.
But yeah, so I mean, I've had the privilege of coaching with Tim a couple of times, and I've done the TimProv with them and everything, and it's a wonderful time. And the thing I like about Tim is he's real with you. Sometimes you get in with a coach and you can be mediocre, and they'll say that was fantastic, you were amazing, that's a great. Tim will tell you like it is. I mean, I had some tough love in one of my sessions with Tim, and I needed that, and it elevated me because I didn't know I needed that, and I did. So, not only is it quality, quality coaching on the aspects of acting, on the but also it's not just it's not just sugarcoating everything. He'll make sure that he gives you what you need. You need to be coachable, right? But he's not just going to pat your back and say, "Well done, give me my money."
I want you to do your best,
Yeah.
And this is a insanely competitive business. We are replaceable. All of us are absolutely replaceable. The three of us are the same guy on paper, and one of us could replace the other, and there's 1,500 guys who could replace us immediately, right? So in order to hold on to your job, you got to be, 1, good at it, and 2, the kind of person people want to work with.
Mm-hmm.
And my coaches coming up did not clap for shit. You know, they didn't let me get away with anything. And my name's come up a lot in your show from folks that I've worked with, and apparently they've all said I've held them accountable for what I've taught them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because it works. It makes money. How do I know? I did my taxes last year. I had a great year last year.
And you can too if you coach with Tim Powers.
And you can too.
And you
But
can too.
Tim has he asked us a question today, and we said that would be awesome. And so we would like to offer this, or he would like to offer this to
I sure would.
our listeners.
Yep. I have a couple of options. If you would like to coach with me, I'm offering to listeners of this show 20% off a package of 6 1-hour coaching sessions with me. And so what you do is you go to my website, you go to voiceofpowers.com, and I think this will be in the show notes, right?
Yes.
You go to voiceofpowers.com. You look at my coaching page, you'll see that I have a package of 6 1-hour coaching sessions with me, and you get 20% off by using the coupon code Mike26, MIKE 26. And you can do that.
Mike has one, but I don't?
Nope, you do, as a matter of fact. If you, fine listener of this program, want to participate in a TimProv, which happens every Thursday on Zoom at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, so whatever time it is, wherever you are, you get in for half price if you use the coupon code Mitch26. That's Mitch with a T, MITCH 26. And you can sign up for that at timprov.net. It would be timprov.com, but some squatters got timprov.com, and some kids can learn these for him. Yeah. So there you go.
There you go.
I hope I've established some value. If nothing else, I've beat up poor Mike a couple times.
I'm going to proselytize from the inside and the outside. I've been to TimProvs. They're super fun, and I know that you've tailored it to voice acting, but it isn't only for that. So for me, I love that there's certain voice acting parts that are like special for me, and the rest of it is still just improv. It's still that exact same delicious morsel that you would get anywhere else. So that's awesome. And you didn't swear at me a lot, so that was nice. But no, none of that. And then from the outside, I've never coached with you, but everyone I know who has, it's like watching Mark Wahlberg with his posse, you know, if he was in Entourage, the show.
Yeah.
Because you guys are all just like strutting around like jobs are ladies, and you're like, ta-tow. And you're just like walking around like, yeah. And it's cool to see you move almost as a unit, and people who really stand by you after, and they haven't just like, Tim, you know, he got me through a median.
Yeah.
But.
Well, in the NFL, you know, they talk a lot about coaching trees, right? You know,
Yeah.
and you've got, you know, Andy Reid and coach of the Chiefs, and all these assistant coaches he's had, all these people he's had on his staff that who are now coaching elsewhere. And it's a little bit different analogy, but Tim has a coaching tree. He's got a lot of people that have coached with him that are very successful in the voiceover industry.
It is true.
That have made a lot, and they owe it, and they will tell you flat out, you know, I started coaching with Tim, and that made all the difference. And so, yeah, can't talk Tim up enough. As you mentioned, Tim, I mean, you come up a lot on this show, dude, and for good reason, because we respect the hell out of you. We enjoy the hell out of you when you're here, and when we see you in person, and when we get to talk to you and coach with you and all the things. So.
Rough hang, really good coach. Just real solid.
You know what? I'll
He's
take
really
that.
bad to waiters. He just rails on them.
Only
I am
20%.
not a jerk to waiters.
Yes, and Tim. Yes, and
But I am a jerk to waiters.
Yes, I'm a jerk to it. No, man, you being a jerk to a waiter is a surefire path to a booger sandwich. Nobody wants that. Man. You know.
Hey, we had talked about. I know we got you for another 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And then you got a hard stop.
You want to do
We had
GPT
talked about
roulette?
doing the Chat
Oh,
GPT
yeah.
roulette, but here's the thing: when we do that, we pause. We got to take some time to come up with a script. You're TimProv, man. What if we just did a little? What if we just did a little 10 minutes to TimProv on the show?
What do you
we
have
don't
in
even
mind?
have to pause, and we take the whole 10 minutes just to have some fun with you. How's that
He's
sound?
not prepared. He's ill prepared.
That's improv.
I don't
Oh.
need.
I mean,
I don't need to prepare. I do this every day.
Not prepare.
This is the world. Hey, man, this is the world I live in, you know? It's like, it's what I do, you know? My poor agent has to listen to me try to shoehorn that into every third take of something I do.
Yeah.
If your
perfect.
baby has cancer, you need to go to the St. Louis Cancer Institute.
That most scripts I see are looking for John C. Reilly.
Yeah, I actually get that sometimes and still haven't booked it. I get John Hamm all
doggone
damn
Frank
day.
Caliendo stole it again.
Seriously.
Right.
Do you have anything specific in mind, or are we just pulling? Hey, Rocky, why don't you pull the improv out of my hat?
Yeah,
Put it up my
or
sleeve.
your ass. Either way.
Presto.
I like that.
Great. There is one of the first improv games that I try with someone just to prove that they can improvise is I have you randomly grab an item off of your desktop, whatever it may be. Don't show it to me yet, but just grab any old random item. Trying to find something I haven't used before. This'll do. Okay. And so the item that you have in your hand becomes something different the minute you pick it up. So if you pick up a roll of Scotch tape, it is no longer a roll of Scotch tape. But the physical characteristics of that roll of Scotch tape are going to give you an idea what it is, because it is the perfect invention to solve a problem that I have. And the problem that I have is I bought my wife a $300 bird feeder with a little camera on it, right? You know those things, right?
Mm-hmm.
Damn squirrels are in the bird feeder constantly, and every time, we're expecting to see like a yellow-bellied sapsucker or something like that, it's a New York squirrel's ass, and I'm kind of tired of it, so I want to keep the squirrels out of my bird feeder, right? So the device that I have is this here, right? This little device. And it actually serves a very specific purpose, because if you use this and put it on the pole that the bird feeder is on, you'll see it separates right here, and then these little plastic ends. These aren't for aesthetics. They're actually clarinet reeds. And when the wind passes through these clarinet reeds, it creates a sound that is offensive to squirrel ears. And it keeps the squirrels off of my pole, and I don't have to go out and keep blowing the clarinet. It literally clamps on the pole and then creates that sound.
How does it
Genius.
sound to people? Can we hear
Genius,
it?
Mr.
Yeah,
Tony.
well, you can't. It's subsonic. It's
Subsonic.
just to squirrels, right?
Yeah.
Squirrel ears only.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Wow.
So, Mike, what do you have to help me with my squirrel problem? What's the device that you
what
have?
I have here is a special formula that you would take and rub on the pole. Okay, this is a special patented grease, if you will. That if you
I'm with
just
you, Mitch.
Unused,
extend
yeah.
it here, there's a reason.
Yeah.
If you just extend it here and you just apply generously to the pole, it's amazingly put together so that it is toxic and slippery to the squirrel, and yet a bird can stand on it with no problem whatsoever. And it smells like a man.
Daggum. Okay.
Kind of love it.
I
Kinda
can't
love
wait
it.
to poison the squirrels with that product.
Poison the squirrels and make them slippy.
Make 'em
I
slippy.
Kind of love that. All
All
right,
on those
cool.
little squirrel noggins.
Mitchell, what do you have, good sir?
I actually brought, this is a prototype. It's worked a couple times, but I got to get the diameter right. But once you get this diameter right with 10 karat gold, you stick this where the squirrel would climb up onto the bird feeder. And actually, they are so enamored with what's through the other side that they start to step through it. Now, you don't think a squirrel can fit through such a small hole, but with this specific diameter, it actually shrinks, condenses the bones and other parts of the squirrel into a smaller squirrel version. And this is really just another pet maker. It's like you've heard of sea monkeys. Now you've got like tiny squirrels that you can just keep in a small terrarium or whatever, or a nice squirrel stew. I don't really know what you want to do with it, but it's just a prototype. I wouldn't put it out yet.
Yeah. I love that. New from
Mine's
Whammo.
more cost effective though.
Sea squirrels. Get it today. Advertised in old comic books. It's old sea squirrels. There you go. Okay, so
There you go.
what you guys did was, without a script, completely improvised. The most ludicrous of circumstances, committed to that circumstance, right, and behaved in a truthful manner under imagined circumstances without the benefit of a script. That, my dudes, is the most basic form of improv you can do. So you just watch Mitch and Mike do improv as part of their VO journey right here on the show with me, Tim Powers, host of TimProv, which you can join at timprov.net and save 50% by using the coupon code in the program notes.
And if you want to do a more robust coaching package with Mr. Powers, you can go to his other website, voiceofpowers.com, and get 20% off by using the code Mike26.
There you
And
go.
if you want something even more robust, you can go to his third website,
OnlyFans.
Yeah, my OnlyFans.
And look at his feet.
You know, it's just me eating pizza. It's just me at like Salvatore's in Rochester. I'm just eating pizza.
I mean, some chicks dig that.
Yeah,
I'll say.
I
More
haven't met 'em
robust,
yet,
yeah.
but yeah,
They gotta be out there,
God
man.
knows I tried in
They
my
gotta be
single
out
days,
there.
man.
we got tons of these videos.
Oh my God, yeah, always fun to see you guys. Thanks for bringing me back.
Yeah.
I really look forward to hanging with you guys in Atlanta. Oh, one of the things I did want to mention is if someone's interested in coaching with me and you're on the fence, if you go to my coaching website, if you go to voiceofpowers.com, there's a 15-minute free meeting that I offer for no charge for any reason at all. And it's just 15 minutes of my time, and you can ask me whatever questions you want in those 15 minutes, and we can see if we're a good fit for each other. So before you invest even a nickel, you get 15 minutes on the house with me. I'll be camera ready, I promise, and we will quite literally have a cup of coffee. So
You're always camera
There you
ready.
go.
You're a gorgeous man, Tim
come
Powers.
on. You say that to all the Fred Flintstone looking guys. Come on.
And you know what? We all have our fetishes. Anyway, it is the top of the hour as we are recording this. We got like 2 minutes left. Is there anything else that any little anecdote or any little nugget of wisdom that you wanted to?
Sergeant Pepper is overrated. Listen to the Zombies Odyssey and Oracle album. It's way better. They were both recorded in the same room at the same time and released the same year. How's that?
Thank you.
Duly noted. Duly noted.
It's really good.
All right. Well, thanks, Tim, so much for being on the
Thanks,
show again. and
fellas.
again.
I could hang out with you guys a bunch, and I intend to when we're
It's gonna
together, and we will be drinking beers. But for the purpose of this show, thanks again for having me back,
Yeah.
guys. It's,
And we'll have to just, we got to get you in that 5-timers club. So we'll be definitely having you on again.
I want my jacket that Mitch's mom is gonna make, man.
Yeah.
Macaroni noodles.
She'll make
Macaroni
Macaroni
noodles.
noodles.
Yeah.
What I want.
All right.
Powers.com. Thanks,
Thanks,
fellas.
Tim. Take care.
See you next time.
Bye,
Bye-bye.
everybody. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
See you
See
next
you
time.
later. It's gonna be a lot of fun, you know? Yeah, it's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. Hey, look.
Strange, you're still here. Take your nuts off my drum.
we